Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy night, and we are underway here in London. This will be taken very short. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a first carry for their fullback. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on 1st down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage, but the big man setting the tone physically.
Here we go. 8-3. Let's go. You tighten up.
2nd and 4. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual-type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
Set, ready? 60-yard. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Got it. 56. Mike's 56. Don't get nervous. Big air. Snap.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Ready. 15-1. 15-1.
They go play action here on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Let's go now. 18 Gator.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Everyone come forward. 4 down.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 13-yard line.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. standing just outside his own goal line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That goes for 14 yards, 1st down Cardinals.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It'll be an Arizona 1st down on a gain of 17.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On the ready.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll try and run with their fullback. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Check him out. He's going to sit right.
He'll drop to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Had to pass there. 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A Cardinal 1st down on a gain of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Let's go. 60 or.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. They'll set up a throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Cliff Kingsbury here on 4th down. Trots out the field goal unit. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The fullback comes through with a big play there. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that is incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there. 69 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
I'm coming.
5.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And to give this time to the tailback. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting in a field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Look out for number 30. Look out for number 30. Single.
Deep river.
He'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 yards there on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
15 line, 15 line.
2nd and 9 now. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Back to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now an inside draw. This is their fullback. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Check. Here's a 2nd and 7. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run, and the Cowboys have retaken the lead. Well, they weren't messing around. 1st and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, 1st down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it, 6 points on the board. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Look at the spin. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Cowboys have recovered.
We just saw the dilemma for every coach. You want them to fight for the extra yardage, but somehow continue to cover the football. Oftentimes when you fight that hard, the ball becomes exposed.
Defensively, it's obvious they're trying to be more aggressive. First tackle a little too aggressive. Second one, though, they strip it loose. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check 43.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On the give, this is their fullback. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
70, Indy. Get it.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
A 4-yard gain. It's 4th down.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 18. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 4th quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll look to throw here. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll drop the throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now back to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 48. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The outlaw. All day, every day, any day. Fight.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't quite corral it defensively. Maybe some space to go the other direction if he had caught it. That brings up 4th down now.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right, and rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. A quick throw, but incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
On the ready.
Double time. Hey,
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Let's go now. 8, read. Now.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals 18. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Ready?
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night, everybody.